All right, we're diving deep into a track that's, well, it's iconic, you know? Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. I mean, admit it's been stuck in your head at some point, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those songs that just gets under your skin.
Totally. But this deep dive, it isn't just about a catchy tune. It's about a whole cultural moment.
It's fascinating, right? Gangsta Paradise wasn't just music. It was like this sonic snapshot of America in the mid-90s.
Exactly. And our sources, they really dig into that historical context. What was going on back then that made this song resonate so much?
Well, picture the U.S. back then. Crime rates were up, people were worried about the economy, and hip-hop was emerging as this powerful voice, especially for communities that often felt unheard.
It's like the music scene was primed for a song like this. But get this, our research says Gangsta's Paradise wasn't even supposed to be on a Coolio album originally.
Really?
Yeah, it was on the soundtrack for that Michelle Pfeiffer movie, Dangerous Minds.
Oh, right. That movie tried to tackle some of those anxieties of the time, inner-city schools, struggling education systems. Gangsta's Paradise became the theme song.
It really did. And speaking of themes, we can't forget that sample. Coolio, using Stevie Wonder's Pastime Paradise, is genius.
Brilliant, isn't it? And it adds so much depth.
Totally. Expert speaker. I mean, that sample, it adds this whole other layer, don't you think?
It's not just sampling a beat. It's like Coolio created this conversation between two musical worlds. Stevie Wonder's original has this almost wistful feel, nostalgic, and Coolio turns it into this reflection on a much harsher reality.
He flipped the script, and it worked. But wasn't that tough, getting permission to use the sample?
It really was. Our sources say Stevie Wonder wasn't so sure about it at first.
Wow. Imagine this song without that melody.
It wouldn't be the same.
Not even close. But it's not just the music, right? Those lyrics, that line, been spending most of their lives living in a gangsta's paradise. It's dark, but it grabs you. What did people back then think when they heard those words?
Oh, people had different reactions, for sure. Some folks, it gave them a glimpse into a world they didn't know. Like, they'd seen it on the news, but this was different.
And for others,
it was their life, you know, their reality. And hearing it in a song, it gave their experiences this power. Someone was finally talking about it.
giving them a voice.
Exactly.
And our research, it points out that Gangsta's Paradise, it had this huge effect on other artists,
What?
especially in hip-hop.
Oh, yeah. It showed everyone that hip-hop could be both. Hugely popular, but also really political. It made people think, made them uncomfortable sometimes.
Like Tupac.
Exactly. Tupac's music, it tackled a lot of the same stuff, the injustice, the inequality. You can see how Gangsta's Paradise might have influenced him.
It's like Coolio opened the door, and then artists like Tupac, they could really dig into those themes. And it wasn't just the lyrics, right? That music video was intense.
Absolutely. Back then, this is pre-YouTube, pre-social media, you know, music videos, they were still a big deal.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it, and it just, I don't know, it got to me. Those images.
It wasn't just Coolio performing. It felt like he was pulling you into that world, making you see what he was singing about.
You felt it. It wasn't just a song. But hey, speaking of the song, our research dug up some cool trivia about it. Ready for a quick round? Expert speaker.
Lay it on me.
All right, so what book, this might surprise you, but what book influenced Coolio while he was writing Gangsta's Paradise?
Ooh, okay. Give me a sec. Was it the autobiography of Malcolm X?
You got it.
Wow.
Right. It's amazing how those themes from Malcolm X's life, they ended up in the song. Okay, next one. Obviously, Gangsta's Paradise, it was a hit, huge. But what big award did it snag?
That would be the Grammy, right? Best rap solo performance.
Nailed it. 1996, baby. But here's the ironic part.
Yeah.
Even though this song was everywhere, some radio stations, get this,
They banned it?
they censored it. Can you believe that?
Wow, really?
Some of those lyrics, they were just too much, apparently.
It's kind of a trip, isn't it? It made people so uncomfortable that they tried to shut it down. But that just proves how powerful the song is, right? It forced people to face some hard truths about that Gangsta's Paradise.
That leads us to the legacy of this song.
Yeah.
Gangsta's Paradise, it's not just some catchy tune you hear on the radio. It's become a part of our culture. And it still means something to people all these years later. It makes you think, you know, has America ever really escaped that Gangsta's Paradise? Or are we, like, still dealing with the same problems all these years later?
That's the thing about the song, isn't it? It sticks with you. And yeah, those issues Coolio was talking about back in '95, poverty, inequality, they haven't gone away.
It's like this weird time capsule. But it's also reflecting what's still happening right now.
Exactly. And that's why doing this deep dive, it's important. It's not just reminiscing about old music. It's about, like, looking at ourselves.
And realizing some things haven't changed as much as we thought.
Right. And that can be uncomfortable. But it makes you ask yourself, have we made any real progress? Have we learned from the mistakes? Or are we just going to keep repeating them?
Big questions. And it shows you how powerful music can be.
Yeah.
Gangsta's Paradise. It wasn't just a song, it was a statement. It made people think.
Totally. It reminds us that music, it can be a force for change, for awareness, for starting those tough conversations about the things that really matter. It can challenge the way we see the world, make us more understanding. It can even inspire us to go out and create change ourselves.
So well said.
Yeah.
As we wrap up this deep dive on Gangsta's Paradise, what's the one thing you hope our listeners will take away?
I hope they'll listen to the song again, with fresh ears, thinking about everything we've talked about. But even more than that, I hope it encourages them to go out and find other voices, other stories, other points of view, things that challenge the way they see the world. Because the more we understand, the more we can do to make a difference.
Perfectly put. And on that note, we'll leave you with this. What does Gangsta's Paradise mean today? It's a question worth thinking about. And who knows, you might surprise yourself with what you discover. Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.